Hey friends, it's Jenny. I'm getting ready to work on this week's A Cherry on Top Sketch Challenge. This will be challenge number 423, and this is due on April 16th. Here is your sketch. It's showing that there's 3 4x4 photos. Looks like some doilies as well as some mixed media. A little bit of something across 2 of the photos, and you've got your title. I'm going to be using my collection obsession kit for the month of April and show you what I've got in front of me. I don't have a full plan yet, but I'll let you know what I'm thinking. So I've got, these are 4 photos. I may skip using one of them to do they're definitely not 4x4, they're 3x4. Maybe I'll sneak the 4th one in, but we'll see. These are just of Quinn with an activity at the park and how she made her own little glasses here. So, and they made little teacups, and so these are just a day at the library. In my little tray here, I have got a few pieces of ephemera from the Hello Again collection. Now I took out a camera and a couple butterflies in varying colors. I've got this little notebook. Butterflies, 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 butterflies. I've got the little glasses I thought were perfect since she made glasses. I've got a stack of books as they were at the library, and I've got a little chair here too. I've got a doodle pop in a sunshine as well as that stack of books again. I've got 2 headlines from Doodlebug. These are old. These are from 2009. This one that's beautiful, Simply Sweet, is also from 2009. So I might use one of these for my title. I've got some gems that I may use instead of mist. Use these as a representative of the mixed media. Things that I've got just on my desk. I've got 3 of these stars left to use from Color Rush Studio. I've got some Scrap and Happy Studio Flair here, and I thought the blue was a nice match. I also have paper frills in green and yellow from Doodlebug. I've got white cardstock in case I want to match some of my photos. And then I've got these papers here. So this is from the Hello collection, which is from 2018. I'm going to be using this, and I thought I was going to mat it on the pink, but I might go in a different direction and mat it in the yellow, or definitely going to mat it in the green. The green is a really good match for this. So I can do the stripes or the polka dots. Kind of like the polka dots. I am going to gut this, I think, and use this in part of my layout as well. And I'll probably use some of this. I didn't think was that great of a match as far as the pinks went, so I probably won't use this. This is from My Happy Place. This is 2022, and then these are just petite prints. I've got the yellow, so you'll probably see a combination of these 3 papers along with the other things that I have pulled. My photos fell on the floor, so I've got to get those. I've got my little tray of goodies and my sketch. So let me start to put some things together, and I'll be back and we'll talk about it. Hey friends, it's Jenny, and I've completed my layout for this week's A Cherry on Top Sketch Challenge. Now, as a reminder, here's the sketch, and it had 3 4x4s down the middle. There is some doilies here. Looks like a little bit of mixed media. On the photos, there's this strip. And then you've got your title. I put my title on the wrong side, but that's okay. I did use my papers from Doodlebug, and I ended up getting out some petite prints. So I used a petite prints, 2 of them actually, in the color Limeade. So I used 2 Limeades. Let me double check because they are one was a white stripe, one was a green stripe. So I did use Limeade. I used the 12x12 sheet from Hello called Lovely, and I cut this to 11.5 by 11.5. And then there you go, there's that strip. And then I also cut into another petite print this color is hard to read against the yellow. Bumblebee. I like that. So here's my 4 papers that I cut into for this layout. I did end up using, these are pink fresh gems, these 2. I used some of the pink and some of the yellow. And these, I believe, I got from Buttons Galore and More at some point. And they're flat back green, like bubbles in here. So I used some of those. I did use some paper frills, both in the green. I put that on top of my photo here, the little flower. And then I did use 2 in the yellow along the sides of the strip that I put down the middle. My title I made with the Bella Boulevard Luna alphabet stickers in the color Blueberry. And here is my layout. Like I said, I had 4 photos I wanted to use, and I ended up just using them all, and how I, placed the middle like this. So with the layout, there's no per se paper down the middle. It was just the photos. But I ended up, I wanted to break up the flowers a little bit. So I did use that limeade and then those 2 strips in Bumblebee. I've got, there's a gemmy that's not glued. We'll have to get that down. I did use 3 Scrap and Happy Studio Flare, and I did pick the ones in that blue color to go ahead, and I was doing that because of her dress, because of the blue dress she's wearing. Now, the ephemera that I picked out, I did use some of it, and I did remember to go get some doilies too. I used 2 butterflies in each of my clusters. Oh, just one over here because I wanted an odd number. And I used the little notebook here, and the camera, and then the glasses. And if you can tell, I've got, so here where there was mixed media, I've kind of put gems, and as well as here, and then a couple down here. But instead of getting out ink spatters or something like that, I figured I'd use the gems to represent that little bit of mixed media. So this is my layout for the Cherry on Top Sketch Challenge for this week. I will be posting it to the gallery. Use Doodlebug products that I picked for my collection obsession for the month of April, and I'm thrilled with how it came out. Using a sketch sometimes makes, most of the time, I would have to say a great amount of the time, it makes, things go a little bit faster, because you've got the general layout, but then there's me who likes to add all the stuff. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer. I thought I'd come back and show you how I put it together, but then I kept fussing with it and then getting the gems down, and it was just not in my favor. So as I just looked at the sketch, I had noticed that this one was on the top and this one was on the bottom here, but I already glued it, so I'm not peeling that up. And like I said, the tea time should probably be over here, but I use this for an embellishment cluster. So my embellishment cluster I consider here, here, and here, and then my title. So let me know what you think. Hope to play a little bit more this weekend. This is Saturday the 12th. Yeah, Saturday the 12th that I'm playing, and I hope to play a little bit more today with some stuff. And I'll get some pictures taken and I'll get this loaded up. But thanks so much for spending your time with me. I do appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're playing along this week. I'll go check it out. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.